We do live on separate continents and we haven't actually met in person.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Finding the Summit. This is our second weekly instalment. If you missed last week, I would highly recommend going and checking it out. Today we're going to be sharing with you a little bit more about how the project really started, how did we meet each other, and how did we get this ball rolling?
Well, it's kind of a funny story because I've actually been up to Kilimanjaro once before in 2012 back when I was in college. And I'm sure we're going to talk about that experience a little bit later on in future videos.
As I said in the last video, I had this little seed of an idea planted in my head about 6 months ago where I started thinking about how I would love to climb Mount Kilimanjaro and really share a story about it, create a documentary about it actually, and not just about my journey and the journey of whoever ended up doing this project with me, but about something deeper than that, about a connection with the local people that we made, about helping the local community, and about fighting for whatever it is you're passionate about and finding a way to make it work.
I actually had written an Instagram post, I don't know, probably 6 months ago, as a little #Friday introductions video. And in there I wrote 5 things that you may not know about me. And in one of those 5 things, one of them is I wrote that I've been up the Kilimanjaro. I hiked up and reached the summit. And it just so happened that Emily read that post, saw that I'd been up the Kilimanjaro, and she had already been thinking about that project that we're now launching and announcing. She messaged me on Instagram just saying like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm thinking of going up the Kili. It's been a dream of mine. Do you have any tips or suggestions? But I don't really recall how we started following each other.
I met Emily in, I think it was February of this year, because I was in England at the time. We're both a little bit foggy on the details, but what I remember is that I was on an Instagram live with somebody who we both follow, and at one point she said something about Emily the photographer, and that's when I realised that there was another Emily who was also watching the same live stream as me. So at that point I thought, okay, well, we have the same name and we have somewhat similar jobs, so I'm gonna give her a follow. But honestly, we didn't really interact much or anything until a few months later. Emily has posted a photo, and in the caption of the photo she mentions that she has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. This is where it gets strange, because not a couple of weeks before I had just started to think, if I really want to make this Mount Kilimanjaro idea a reality, I need to find someone else to go with me. My idea is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro and to make a movie about it, or a series about it, or some kind of video. My idea is to get a partner to do this with me. I would like to find another female content creator who is up for this challenge.
When I went the first time, I didn't actually just go as pure travel. I went to also film a little mini documentary video for the college. So the project was organized by my college, and then because I was in the videography television production program, I was chosen to go up with gear to do that video. And so it all just kind of came back full circle.
So when Emily posted this message, posted this photo, I felt like it must be destined, it's got to be fate or something, or at least it's worth pursuing. So I sent her another message. I told her about my idea. I said, do you want to hop on a call, because maybe you would have some cool tips for me. But actually, I'm thinking maybe Emily can help me with this.
2 days after the trip, everyone's like, I never want to go again. My legs are dead. Like, going up the stairs just to go to class like a week later was so painful. But like a week later, you're like, okay, I need to do something like this again.
I mean, would it be something that you'd be interested in potentially? I'm not asking you to like make a firm decision, but is it something you could be interested in? Or yeah,
for sure. Actually, as soon as you talked to me about it, I started thinking, and I'm like, I want to go again.
And we just talked about the trip, and then eventually towards the end of the call, after she had explained to me a little bit more of what the project what she had in mind for the project, she just kind of said, would you be interested? I think I just kind of smiled like a dork because I was like, yes.
So from there we decided that we wanted to partner up and make this thing happen. I of course gave Emily a little bit of space to just think about it, but she was on board, she loved the idea, she wanted to be able to climb Mount Kilimanjaro again, so we decided to go for it.
So I think the mini lesson or moral of this video is don't be afraid to just reach out to people on social media, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, whatever, YouTube, because you never know what's gonna come out of it, and most people won't find it weird to receive a random message from someone. It's just really cool to be able to connect with people across the country that you would otherwise never have met. Send a message, don't be shy, and who knows, you might end up climbing the Kilimanjaro with them in a couple months.
Such a strange coincidence that brought us together. Whatever it was a really serendipitous coincidence, and I'm really glad that it happened. So I hope you'll join us again next week. We're going to be introducing ourselves individually a bit more so that you can get to know the people and the faces behind the project. So I'm really excited to share that. As always, if you have any ideas, any questions you have about the project, leave them in the comments and we'll get back to you, or maybe even pop them in a video in the future. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and goodbye.
And we had been following, yeah, this is gonna happen, up there to create another kind of video. Oh my god, maybe I should lock them up in another room.